गाइस, तो आज आपकी पार्ट बी की क्लास है, करेक्ट? एंड पार्ट बी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आपका सबसे प्रॉब्लमैटिक जोन है। एंड प्रॉब्लमैटिक जोन है, प्लस आपके पास उसके लिए रेमेडीज नहीं होती हैं। बट हु हैज बेटर रेमेडीज देन AIR 6 itself, है ना? तो हु विल हैव बेटर रेमेडीज? सो आई एम प्रेजेंटिंग टू यू your best chance at understanding what you can do that will make you different from all the other competition that you have. And that chance is today's class and your conversation with Sabreen. Sabreen, can you please
Hi, can you see me? Am I audible?
yes,
Okay,
Sabreen, you're audible, I can see you.
thank
So Sabreen is here to help us all out with what makes her stand differently, what makes her AIR 6. Am I right, Sabreen? Are you happy about it?
you. Yeah, I'm happy about it, and thank you for this introduction.
Yeah. Are you excited for the class?
Yes, I'm excited. Like
Oh,
I might meet my potential juniors.
oh wow. Yes, for sure. I hope
Yes,
you see them there and you feel like a mentor to them again. है ना? वो
yes.
वाला फीलिंग आता है ना एकदम, किसी को सामने से देख के कि ओ आई वाज योर मेंटोर। अब रैगिंग करने में ज्यादा मजा आएगी।
Yeah,
करेक्ट?
yeah, I'll be ragging. Yeah,
Yes.
there'll be time for ragging for sure.
So I hope you guys see each other very, very soon. But right now, it's over to you, Sabreen. You can start with your class. All the best.
Okay, thank you. Hi, guys. I'd like to start with my introduction. I'm Sabreen. Before joining NLS, I did my undergrads in psychology from Kerala, Calicut University. Would you guys give us a thumbs up if you're hearing me and if you're understanding me? Okay, thank you, Rahul, Harsh, Sumit. Okay, so I'm basically from Kerala, from Thrissur. So I'd like to say that this was my second attempt at NLSAT. My first attempt, so it was in 2023. During my first attempt, I couldn't complete Part B questions. Like it was difficult for me to manage the time. I contributed most of my time in Part A. And so I scored well in Part A, but didn't pass the minimum criteria for Part B. And so, but I did get into CLC. So I joined CLC for a year and then I was like, should I try one last time? And then I gave it a try and then I cracked it. I couldn't manage the time in the first part, in the first attempt I gave. So I effectively managed and I practiced mocks. That was what helped me through. That is, even though I couldn't complete like the 2.5 hours, right? Yes, same. We have also left CLC for, yeah, excuse me. Okay, so the exam is 2.5 hours, as you know. So I couldn't complete, so I couldn't do full mocks. So yes, you can also complete part B in first attempt, but it's very easy once you get the knack of how you complete. So first, I couldn't, there won't be time to complete the full mocks 2.5 hours. So we could do part A at first and then part B. That is practice writing. If we won't practice, it would be hard to complete. And first, before going into the how to crack the entrance, I would suggest how life is at NLS to give an idea about how it is. First of all, NLS is rigorous. I would suggest that CLC we don't have to attend classes. Like we would doing proxy, we would be fine. But here attendance is 75%, and the classes are really great. That is, we have well qualified professors. Not that CLC don't have well qualified, but in NLS we have from the one in the first. I'm just first trimester in the first sem. So the professor who is teaching me jurisprudence is a gold medalist from Cambridge University. So think about it. And also there's another professor from US. He's also teaching jurisprudence. He was also a graduate from Cambridge University. And we have to in jurisprudence, we have to, I'm in NLS right now. I was in CLC, then I joined in NLS. So in jurisprudence, we have to study theories, right? So there was this theory by Kramer regarding jurisprudence, and the person who wrote the theory itself, he took a class for us, like online. He's in the US. So Professor Kramer taught us. We are studying his theory, and he basically taught us like one-on-one session, and it was great. So that's about the professors. They are well qualified, and we have this group assignments, case presentation. It's molding us for the long time. It can be at times stressful, but if we can manage the time effectively, there would be it would be easy for us.
Just a moment of interruption. We have launched our NLSAT 2026 crash course batch, and here are the features of the batch. As you are watching this video, you have an unfair advantage. You can use this coupon code and claim this discount to enroll yourself for the batch. And if you have any query in relation to the batch, you can connect with me on this number. And बाकी YouTube पे तो सब्सक्राइब कर ही लो क्योंकि मैं तुम्हारे बहुत ज़्यादा काम आता हूँ.
NLSAT, when it was, I started preparing for it from November, December, I think so. October is you can crack it very easily if you just like practice mocks effectively. By now, just practice one mock a week or so, but do practice writing essays. And yes, academic pressure in NLS. What kind of a question is that? Yes, I would go in a structure wise. Tips for effective answer writing. After this, I would give you a question and you could answer it, and I would check your papers, and I would give a basic structure on how to answer it. And in NLS, they would give us assignments, and now we can manage time effectively. Yes, I did start over after leaving CLC. 1 year was after. Yes. And there are several clubs in NLS, like ADR. I joined ADR. I'm a committee member of ADR. Then there's Moot Court Society, and there's cultural, sports, and different clubs, event management. And there's a university test, and after that, we could participate in such events, international events. There's, I think, one Moot Court which got like FinTech Moot, which got over by now. And so if you have any other questions regarding our analysis, you could ask right now. After that, I would go to how to answer the questions. Are there any questions about NLS and how the life is there? It's great. Placements, yeah. We do have placements like this. Our first batch, that is our seniors, they just got placed, most of them. There are 80 students, I guess, in their batch, and they got, I think, I don't know the exact number, but most of them have, the placements are going on, and they've got placed, I think, I don't remember, I would check and say that. And yeah, there's scholarship available in 3-year law. There's financial scholarship and other scholarships, I think Aditya Birla scholarship, something. Most of them are for 5-year LLBs, but there are other scholarships. That is private. I'm speaking about private scholarships. Most of the private scholarships are for 5-year Bangalore, 5-year LLB program. Since 3-year have just started this is the first batch is getting graduated by this year. And average package, I am not sure. It's a hype, really true. The hype is true. NLS is great. And other than academics, we have cultural program, but mostly I might say that it's mostly related to academics and moot courts, ADR, and giving lectures and stuff. By the 3rd year, yeah, library is great. Library is, yes. There are too many questions. I'll just, okay.
The guys, you are asking as if you have got admitted into NLS and just waiting for the payment of fee. So
No,
don't ask these types of questions. that what is the average package and all. First, you clear the NLSAT 2025, and then we'll surely give you all the answers.
Yeah, too much questions. But I understand your enthusiasm to get into NLS. Okay. NLSAT mostly it was held in March 17, I guess, last year. Before that, it was held in April, no, May 2nd, I think so. Mostly it will be held in March. There won't be much change in the exam schedule. Then exposure is great. That there's a different level of exposure you be receiving. I'm just the first sem, and my seniors have also told they compared to what there are many. Okay, I'm just jumping on from one question. Sorry for that. You would meet not just the graduates, the direct graduates, but there will be the cultural background and our academic background are completely different. That is, in my class, we have like civil servants, IRS officers, IFS officers, and engineer graduates, doctor graduates, there's a doctor in our batch, then bank managers. Most of them have done a job and they have come to pursue law by taking leave or something. And that's it. Okay. About now, I'll get into mocks, how to prepare for that. I don't think you should stress right now about if you will crack an LSAT or not. Don't worry too much. You still have time. And yeah, you go to see, I did also go to college while I was preparing for entrance exam. If you just give yourself a 2 hours daily, apart from the mocks I'm speaking, mocks you could do 2 mocks per week or 1 mock per week, but do practice whenever you get time, writing essays about the current affairs or and reading newspaper is essential, especially the editorials. If you read the editorials, you could get an idea about the legal reasoning or the critical reasoning and the English words, how to the grammatical things and stuff. I wouldn't say that English is important, but English you have to understand it's mostly comprehension based, part A and also part B. You have to get a general awareness about how the things are. And about part A, I would suggest reading the editorials. Too many questions. I would suggest reading the editorial for the it helps in mostly GK and current affairs, logical and legal reasoning. You would understand how there's also when writing essays, we could get an idea about how to structure it by reading the editorials or other facts from the newspapers. And since you're more focused upon part B, I would say about if a question is given, if don't mention the facts. That is, if the facts are mentioned, you are not going to get any additional marks for it because you're just basically writing down. You have to critically analyze the facts and what the issue is. If there's a case presented, don't mention the facts and don't. It would be great if you just dive right into the arguments. Just write briefly what the issue is. And okay. Should I start sharing the question now? Neutral won't help if just arguing for one side would help, but taking the relevant arguments from the other party and mentioning it, but weakening it in a sort of way would help more. Do you understand? Like I would subheadings, if you're comfortable with it, it could be great. Maybe you could use point wise or paragraph wise. I use paragraph wise because it was more good for me according to your need. Do point wise or using subheadings. Subheadings would be great if you could write arguments in favor of this party and what the arguments are. I won't say neutral won't help. Essay topics. Okay. Essay topics, let me complete that question. Essay topics won't be just from the first year current affairs question. It will be much more general. For me, it was about whether I would agree giving a special category for third gender in sports category, and how would you argue for or against it? Somewhat related to that. I'll be sharing the question now. And after sharing the question, please take like 20 minutes to the question, write your answers. Are you able to see the question? Do you guys give thumbs up? Okay. Please do take 20 minutes to read and analyze the question. So don't mention the facts. You don't need to mention the facts. Dive right into the arguments. Identify the issues and specify if there are any sub-issues, and provide a structure to your answer as possible. And if it's point-wise or paragraph-wise. And you don't need to mention the legal terms. Prior knowledge of law is not required. Like unjust and unfair terms, negligence are all common terms. You could use that. And that is, what I mean is, you don't need to go in depth, like mentioning the doctrine of frustration or any other things. That's it. By reading this answer, I am unsure if the contract is valid or not, in whose favor they are deciding, in Karma Productions or Harshers. And even though they have rightfully said certain claims, it's unclear. The given information indicated that. May I call Harshita? Just a minute.
Harshita, can you unmute yourself for a minute? Okay, and like if I share anyone's answer, if we share anyone's answer, okay, and like you can unmute yourselves and give, like, you can ask questions. I'm unmuting everyone.
I will read the answer. The given information indicated the formation of a valid contract owing to the presence of a legitimate offer and its unrequited acceptance and presence of legitimate consideration. Okay, now you're saying that there's a contract formed, and I might add that you don't have to suggest that is the essentials of a valid contract. You're now providing a knowledge of law. That is, they're not testing if you know the essentials of what the valid contract is, what section 10 or is saying, what section 2 is. Hashir's inability to fulfill his duty does amount to breach of contract. Okay. But undertaking the facts presented, he will be eligible to take the claim of an exception as his inability to fulfill the terms of the contract generate from factors. Okay, that's a good point. Now she's saying that the factors mentioned is beyond his control, that is his illness, he cannot control, so it is unforeseen, and so he'll be eligible to take the claim. That's a good point and valid argument, but you might have to flesh out the argument more about it. And the next one is Harsher therefore possesses the right to claim relief of exception. His argument can be further backed by his commitment towards the truth. Out of the 4 films, he has already worked in testifying his credibility and lack of. Okay, that's also a good point that. Okay, now I see that Harsher his commitment, that she is saying that he has no intention to breach the contract, as other two films he has committed, he has done, shows his commitment. And so next is Karma Production undisputedly has suffered financial losses. However, it will not be liable to recover the compensation to recover. Okay. The last point is Karma Production has suffered financial losses, but they won't be able to they won't be liable to recover the compensation. So you might have to provide a reason why they shouldn't compensate. You can add that since the contracts are unfair, you can add the clause about the 10 crore or 25 crore, since Harsher doesn't hasn't acted in much films, and so he has no professional experience from acting in other films, and so he's a struggling actor, and you could validate his financial condition maybe. uh, you don't need to assume, so there's no financial condition, but it can be assumed that he's a struggling actor, as is mentioned from the facts. I'll provide the answer in detail after checking the other two answers. So, can you hear me, Harshita?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, yes. I like the second point you mentioned about then um, the his illness was unforeseeable and beyond his control. That's a valid argument, but you might have to flesh out more. You might have to go in depth of the argument. And the second one also, show his commitment and the lack of malicious intent is also a good point. If you have any other, I will clarify, I'll give a answer, the sample answer at the end after checking the other answers. Do you have any doubts right now?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to confirm that, like I added about the elements of the contract. So should I not include that?
You don't need to go into the basics of what a contract is. That's not, you just have to, what is mentioned in the question is, what Harsher's claim is, the terms of the contract are unfair. So you just have to mention why is it unfair.
Okay, ma'am.
Like the main thing is about the 10 crore and how the, just a minute. Um, yes, about the unfair financial demand of 20 crore is excessive or disproportionate and there was unequal bargaining power. I'll explain that later. If you have any other doubts, you can ask me.
Ma'am, thank you so much.
Huh?
No, ma'am, I don't have any.
Okay. I'll give you detailed feedback later
Sure.
if you want.
Yes, yes.
Are you able to see the screen now? Okay. Okay, so the following issues. Okay, you can mention these are the following issues being faced. That would give a good starting. Harsher is caught between his breach of contract and losses to firm with his health. Karma Production fall under issue between treating their crew members with all precautions and facing economic loss due to Harsher. From the following issues, we can interpret that even though Harsher had made loss to the company, but his right to health and good working condition are above the production house. Whereas production house has already told their rigorous schedule to Harsher, to which Harsher agreed, breaches the contract by on social media. Just a minute. I'll be switching off the video for a while. although production house has a legitimate claim, but harsher case outweighed. The production house has even his company rules. Okay, about this, the first I like how you mentioned these are the following issues, but you don't have to say, you are mentioning the facts again. That is, harsher is caught between his breach of contract and losses to a firm with his help. Karma Productions fall under issue. You don't have to mention that. From the following issues, we can interpret that even though Harsher had made loss to the company, but his right to health, okay, that's a good argument. His right to health and good working conditions are above the production house. Okay, here in the last paragraph, there's a repetition that Harsher's case outweighs a production house. You might have to argue more about the right to health and the good working conditions. And next, I would give the answer. I would check one more. Okay, the issue in this particular case is that the loss that occurred to Karma Productions and to Surface, if Harsher should be held liable for the same. Okay, you have clearly mentioned what the issue is in favor of Harsher. So you have to specify in whose favor you are arguing for. That is, if it's in favor of Harsher, you have to mention. Sorry for the noise, guys, background noise. If you are in favor of the Harsher, you have to mention it's Harsher, or if it's in favor of Karma Productions, you have to clearly mention that. So offering a new actor with 5 years of only short film experience, full-length movies is an immature act by a well-experienced production house. You don't need to mention it's an immature act. The first is the offering a new actor with 5 years of only short film experience is good. Directly offering 4 films to someone who aspires to be an actor seemed like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to Harsher, but its consequences of non-fulfillment must have been well analyzed by the production house before signing. Okay, Harsher only parted about the TDS working schedule and not about the movies or the production house as an upshot. This action must not be considered a ground for the loss which occurred to production house. It would be great you could develop more to it. Okay, Navneet, can you hear me? Hello?
Ma'am, am I allowed to
I
say
guess
something?
it's Divyanshu's answer.
Okay, Divyansh.
I
Okay,
missed
sorry. Okay. Do you have any doubts? I'll share the correct answer after this. Not the correct answer, there are no right answers, but do you have any doubts, Divyanshu? Hello? Yes.
Divyanshu, are we audible?
You could use your mic or just text me. Okay, you cannot unmute.
No issues. No
Okay.
issues. If this finished, anyone having any sort of doubt, okay, you can ask us, and we are really happy to answer all of the questions. Anyone else? You can message right
No.
in the chat, or you can unmute yourself.
I would say don't be neutral. Give one side, argue in favor of one side. Most of you have given in favor of Harshers. So I would suggest that, first of all, the claim given in the question is about unfair contractual terms and the health issues which was beyond his control. So, okay, by practice, at first also, it was difficult for me to write more than 100 words. It's not about the words, it's about giving the correct arguments, and the words will follow. So, just write.
Sabreen,
Yeah.
I guess I've shared you one other question. Like I'm sharing it to you. It's Nathan's, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sharing it to you.
Okay. I would share the screen now. Okay. The issue. Harsher was an actor, and just like every other actor, even he had rigorous work schedules, and he had signed contract with Karma Productions for 4 films, but due to his alarming health issues, he wasn't able to attend the promotion. Okay, you have summarized the facts of this case. That's need not. The issue is whether Harsher has breached the contract as claimed by the Karma Productions, and whether the contract is valid as it contains unfair contract. You could frame the issue in such a way. So arguments from the side of Harsher, arguments against Harsher. You don't have to provide arguments in both sides' favor. Just one side is enough, and conclusion is good. It would be better if you could follow the IRAC method. That is mostly if we follow in law schools to write, we identify the issue. As I've said, the issue is whether Harsher has breached the contract as claimed by the Karma Productions, and whether the contract is valid because it contains unfair contracts, unfair contractual terms. That's issue. IRAC means issue, ratio, analysis, conclusion. Just providing issue and the reasoning and conclusion is not necessary. If you want, you could provide. So arguments from the side of Harsher. I'm on the side of Harsher, as I feel he did not breach the contract or has to pay for any of the losses. Okay, you could say, you could provide your own opinion, that is in the form of I am on the side, but you don't have to provide I feel he did not breach. Health or being sick is not in the hand of any person. Okay, beyond his control. That states that illness is beyond anyone's control. He did not do it wantedly. The fundamental rights of the person to post whatever he wants on social media, did not post anything relating to the film or against the Karma Productions. He just simply put a post relating how the workload of an actress in general. He had completed 2 films out of 4 and was working hard and passionately. Just because his health deteriorated does not mean he condemned anything wrong. So that's valid arguments being provided. That is the fundamental rights of the person to post whatever he wants on social media. You could claim the second sentence is right. He did not post anything relating to the film or against the Karma Productions. He just mentioned his concern about the work.
You can unmute yourself, Nathan.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. So my arguments are correct or something, like, is it good?
They are correct and they are good. By practice, you could flesh out the arguments. That is, you could provide more reasons validating it. That is, here I like that the freedom of expression and the post relating it's not against, it's good. And just because his health deteriorated does not mean he contempt anything wrong.
Ma'am, should I explain it more, or is this enough for the arguments of the side of the
You
person?
could explain much more. Like, you have identified 2 parts, that is the health issue and also the about the post. But you have to, I think you forgot the main part, whether about the unfair terms. That is about the 10 crore and how he did not breach, as it was not a valid contract. He was not given the enough time period. That is 15 minutes is very limited amount of time. So there was a time constraint, and so he was under pressure. He had a undue burden upon himself. In such a way, you could write that. And arguments against Harsher, you don't need to mention. You just have to mention one side.
Okay, ma'am.
Every actor has a busy work schedule. You get into this business knowing that an actor is known to manage all his work and even take care of himself. Okay, you could this argument is correct. You could also say that he was given 6 months extensive training. So he was
Yes.
prepared in a way. So he's also, as he had 5 years of experience, so he is supposed to know how the work schedule of film industry is. So he cannot claim that it was strenuous. And he was also given extensive training of 6 months. So he was prepared to um, do it. Posting something on social media for the fame, telling or gaining sympathy from the followers or hectic work schedule is definitely wrong. You shouldn't say that this definitely is wrong, and this you need not assume something extra from the facts. If it's reasonable assumptions, you could do that. But this in the facts, it's not mentioned that it's done to gain sympathy from the followers or for fame. And this definitely backfires as everything comes upon us, the karma productions. And conclusion, a person does not get sick wantedly or did not have any intentions of posting something on social media that would take or bring down the name of karma productions. He was sick and just showed an actor's work. So here's it's the same. I think it's mostly what you mentioned before. So
I
if you
repeat,
could
I repeated it again.
yeah, you don't, because there would be much time to repeat. So just don't, I would say to everyone, don't go for repetition. Just validate your claim by giving valid arguments. Out of all the papers, they've provided valid arguments, but you have to just go in depth for each argument. So I would say, so if in favor of harsher, first of all, you could mention the issue, which is whether harsher has breached the terms of the contract as claimed by Karma Productions. And your arguments, it will mostly mentioned in the facts, or indirectly or directly it will be mentioned in the facts. So you could write in favor of Harsha, just give a heading, and there's no word limit. There would be like one page, I think so. So unfair terms. First, you could write a subheading if you want. It's a unfair terms. That is, he was sorry, he was given only 15 minutes. There was time constraint, so he was under pressure. Only 15 minutes to sign and review the contract. Also, he didn't have any. When signing such important contracts, you have to have an independent advisors and independent. You you need to have the advice of an independent advisor when signing such contract. So Harsha did not have such an advice to seek, and also, even though he signed, he read the agreement and he signed. The time constraint suggests that he was under a pressure to sign the contract. And also, the terms, especially the 10 crore, can be seen as unfair and exploiting the actor, since the Karma Productions is aware that he is a struggling actor and he hasn't acted in things. So he saw this as a once in a lifetime opportunity. So there's undue burden on Asher and it's unfair. The fairness of contract is in question. And that is about the unfair terms. And then you could write, maybe you could give a subheading if you want about, or write paragraph wise. In the first paragraph, you write about the unfair terms, and the second you write about the health issues. The illness part was beyond his control, and the intense schedule of the Karma Productions made his health deteriorate. And to force him to cancel, it wasn't intended by him. The health condition made him to cancel. Also, you could validate it by providing the doctor's advice that is minimum he needs 2 weeks rest. And then also, the economic losses was not Harsher's fault, because it was Harsher's social media post just mentioned the work schedule, work environment, and he reflected the reality he was facing. Okay, so Karma Productions should have responded to manage it. And Okay, and it's also reasonably expected that when the person is unwell, the film industry should prioritize the well-being of Harsher, its actor. That's it about Harsher, and now I would like to go in favor of Karma Productions. If anybody else has written it, I'd say that first mention the issues, whether a valid contract has been formed or not, and whether he has breached it. And now you go in favor of Karma. First, Karma Production. First is the Harsher signed the contract willingly. And so after reading and understanding the terms and um, conditions of the contract, and he had 5 years of experience, so he means that he's well aware of. He has also acted in short films, so he's well aware of the working of the film industry and the professional demands that comes. And it is also a well established production house, so he there's reasonable knowledge that these are how a production house works, and these are there will be professional demands. And the fact that he underwent extensive training for 6 months means that he was being prepared for the work ahead, so he had an obligation to fulfill the contract's terms. And regarding the economic loss, we can state that the cancellation, Harsher directly cancelled the programs, and such cancellation directly impacted and caused such a social media backlash. So he's responsible for it, and this could have been avoided by Harsher if he had properly communicated his concerns to the production house. So he directly posted it on social media and cancelled the programs without consulting with the production house. And so the production house relied on Harsher's performance, and his cancellation directly impacted in a negative way to the production house, causing for the economic loss and the share prices, and it created a negative image for the production house, which had over 40 years of experience. Also, regarding the experience, 40 years, you could state in favor of Harsher that the production house had 40 years of experience, so they had an unequal bargaining power compared to Harsher, who's a struggling actor. So it can be said that the terms were unconscionable. Unconscionable meaning unfair. And in favor of Karma Productions, back to it, the reputational damage, social media post played a major role in aggravating the situation. So this is a kind of public allegation. So even though he willingly signed the contract. So, and we could say that Karma Productions acted in good faith because Karma Productions gave an opportunity for the struggling actor seeing a struggle to um, gave him a life-changing opportunity, but Harsher's post negatively impacted in a way tarnishing the image of a reputed production house. Also, the request that he should complete the rest of the films is reasonable because this is a temporary illness. Minimum 2 weeks rest is recommended. So that doesn't mean that he shouldn't fulfill his contractual obligation to fulfill the contractual terms. That is, his illness is temporary. That shouldn't absolve him from performing his contractual duties, that is to complete the rest of the films. And it's a valid claim. That's it. So these are the arguments in favor of Karma Productions and in favor of Harsher. I would send it in detail later. It's because I've just written it down. Are there any other doubts? Okay, Harshita, you have raised a hand.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to ask that the social media post, though it is mentioned that he was just reflecting upon the reality that he was facing, but still the post alludes to specifically tarnishing Karma Productions, right?
Okay.
Because
Then you could interpret in both the ways.
because I think because being an actor and having a social media presence, it would be fairly I think fair to assume that people would know that he's working with Karma Productions. So his allegation, even though he's just reflecting on his reality, alludes to specifically talking about Karma Productions and not just a general introspection.
Okay, in a way you could say that it's alluding directly to Karma Productions. That's what in favor of Karma Productions I've said. But in favor of Ashu, you could say that it's just as some, I forgot the name, someone mentioned it's freedom of expression. You could state they were just stating, they have not directly um, tarnished. They've just suggested social media post about the stressful work environment. So caused a backlash. Yeah, it's more inclined towards karma productions, but in a way you could say that he has a right to express about his concern such a way. In the when you get the facts of the case as in the question, some facts would be inclined towards one party more, then some other facts would be inclined towards some. It will be balanced in sort of way. So it's your choice to go with karma productions or in which of the parties. That's it. Is it set? Are you satisfied with my answer? Or do you have any other doubts? Hmm? Hello, Harshita. Okay, it's fine. Does anybody else have a question?
Yes, I have one question.
Okay.
I would like to address that. It was mentioned earlier that Hashir was 5 year having 5 year experience and was a struggling actor.
Okay.
So after a while, Karma Production gave him the opportunity to perform in a movie. Definitely, he would gain some followers through those movies.
Yes.
And after that, posting bad mouthing about Karma Production, he used the fame which he gained from them to defame the Karma Production. Can we mention that point too?
Yes, you can mention that point too. Because it's evident that he has gained his followers after acting in 2 films. So in a way, he has caused reputational damage. You could write that in favor of Karma Productions. That's a
Which he
valid
gained
argument.
from. Yeah, I was asking that only, that the fame he gained from them used to defame the Karma Production.
Fame he used from them to defame. You could write. Yeah, it's fine, I think so. But much more apt would be writing the arguments, the claims that he had, the facts that he had such followers. Already, even with 5 years of experience, his social media followers were growing. So after acting in 2 films, it would be increased. So he was aware of it and how it would create a backlash if he had communicated it before posting. That would have been valid. And if, but now directly posting it just tarnished the image of this. Okay. Okay, yeah. What was, I forgot. Using the fame, try to defame. Instead of
He
that,
gained from the Karma with the help of Karma Production. He used that fear, that followers, you can say, to defame the Karma Production itself.
yes, with your argument, you could add that he already had growing followers and what was it? You already had growing followers. I'm sorry, I just went blank. Just a minute. Yeah, the thing is, you could say that he already had growing followers, and in a way, he's aware of his influence, and he used that to negatively impact the Karma Productions. What I meant is, you could add some facts in support of your argument. That's it. Otherwise, it's right.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
I guess Sabreen, you have another class at.
Huh?
I guess you have another class at 7.
Okay. Okay, then, guys, if you have any other doubt, convey it to Dimant, and then you'll convey to me. I hope your doubts got clarified. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Everyone will get their check copies like tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. Okay, sure. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet in the next class.